Televangelist Pat Robertson went on one of the funniest rants of all time. He's going to attack climate change here, but look at the line of argument that he decided to use.
This thing has become like a religion, and it's just, if you don't believe in climate change, then you have violated the tenets of the religion, and you need to be excommunicated. It's just unbelievable. If you're in a university, for example, and you in any way question the established orthodoxy of climate change, but what Pruitt is saying, this thing's still unsettled. We need to have debate. Who knows whether sunspots are causing climate change, whether the action of the sun itself is causing climate change, whether the movements of the planets are causing climate change. We don't know all those things, nor do we know the fact that the Earth is actually getting a little cooler now than hotter. We had the hottest year probably on record, this last one, but is it really getting hotter all the time? And are the polar ice caps melting? They say some in Antarctica are actually growing. So what the man says is we ought to talk about it. If you're going to be a scientist, you need to have an open mind and do scientific inquiry. That's the way it should be done, not except by faith like this is the Dark Ages, and you get excommunicated if you don't go along with the papal decrees.
That was precious. I always like to get my science advice from the Christian Broadcasting Network. Did he really just say, yeah, look like we're from the Dark Ages with the papal decrees? Dude, you're Pat Robertson. Like, did you just forget? Your whole thing is, I'm a fundamentalist Christian. That's what I am. Like, my whole thing is religion. And he's up there like, climate science, isn't it like a religion? You know what I'm saying? And he's saying that as in like a negative context. But wait, I thought you thought religion was good. Your whole thing is religion is great. So there's so many fundamental contradictions here. Okay. Dude, you have no idea what you're talking about. So imagine, take out, every time you hear a rant similar to this, take out climate change and put in flat earth. So when people say like, well, look, I mean, or excuse me, round earth, I should say. So when people say we have a round earth, you got to think like, well, how do we even really know that? I mean, this is unsettled stuff. We just want more debate. That's all we're asking for. And you got to have an open mind in order to be more really scientific. And that's the way to go about it, is you got to always question everything. And maybe the earth is not round. And people would go, oh, that's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard, because we happen to know, based on all of the data, that the earth is round. It's not, or spherical, I should say, to be exact. It's not flat. Well, for some reason, this logic with a bunch of dim bulbs still holds with climate science. You're just ignorant on the issue if you're still parroting stuff like this. But the height of irony is Pat Robertson going, this is like a fundamentalist religion. And everybody knows these fundamentalist religions make shit up. What? Did I say that out loud? I don't know, but, hearing this rant makes me think, like, maybe he knows. Maybe Pat Robertson knows he's just massively full of shit all these years. Because I always lean more on the side of take people at their word. So, like, Pat spewing all this right-wing propaganda and being this fundamentalist Christian, I always thought, like, yeah, I mean, he probably believes it on some level, right? Like, yeah, I believe I stand for the Bible, and I believe in the Bible, and blah, 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 blah. Like with Hannity and O'Reilly, too, you tend to say, oh, I bet you believe it. Actually, with Hannity, I always thought he was kind of faking it. But with most people, I think, oh, you believe what you're saying. Hearing that rant, like, he just undercut his whole thing. Climate science is like a religion. And that's why it's bad, because religions obviously just kind of make stuff up as they go along, and it's kind of bullshit. Hey, Pat, how do you not realize what you're doing there? And by the way, it is the polar opposite of a religion. That's the whole point, is that climate science is science. We know it's the case because it is science. There's the empirical data there, and we've looked at the trends over all these years, and that's the case. So, no. The bullshitters are people like you, who actually are fundamentalist Christians and push all your nonsense. And the ones who are right are the scientists. So this has got to be one of my favorite clips of all time, because it breaks irony records left and right.